Hello everyone, welcome back. Today's a little bit different of a video, but basically, it's been just over a year now since I started making guitars, and I feel like I've learned a lot. My skill isn't great, but I've learned a lot about how guitars are manufactured and what makes a good guitar versus what makes a poor guitar. And I thought it'd be interesting if we go to Sweetwater and we just browse through guitars and see if I can find a couple guitars that I would buy or a couple guitars that I wouldn't buy as a very amateur luthier. So yeah, here's a couple things I'm looking for. I'm looking for stuff like what tone woods are they using, what type of bracing patterns are they using, are they scalloped braces, like how well voiced are they. I'm looking at the joints, I'm looking at overall aesthetics, and I'm looking at bridge, whether or not it has like a slotted bridge, or the headstock, where's the truss rod located, what type of end grafts, what type of binding, I think I already said binding, how intricate is the purfling, and just stuff like that. I'm going to try to keep it around like $750 to $1,500 range. I feel like most people, when they buy a guitar, they're like more than just beginner, like intermediate guitars players or whatnot. They're looking for a guitar around that price range. So yeah, so here we are on Sweetwater. This is just their 6-string acoustic guitar section, and already off the bat, I'm seeing some guitars. That one's a little bit cheaper. Let's start off Yamaha. Yeah, why not? Okay, this is literally the first guitar on Sweetwater. It is a Yamaha FG830 Dreadnought acoustic guitars with a tobacco brown sunburst. It has binding across the fretboard. It has purfling and plastic binding. At least it has binding. I'm very happy with that. I'm not too big fan of plastic binding because of how cheap it looks, but judging by the price tag, this is a cheap guitar. So it has abalone rosette, but I'm pretty sure that is a sticker, which of course is to be expected for a $400 guitar. But would I buy this? I mean, it looks clean, it looks nice. Yamaha does some good guitars. I know, like they're manufacturing even on like their very low end guitars, like this one that looks like it's rosewood back and sides. It's probably a spruce top. Yamaha does like great job on their manufacturing. Like every guitar you get from Yamaha is going to be solid on the construction, I'm pretty sure. Scallop bracing, so that's good. Scallop bracing means that they have taken the bracing and they have made it into like a point, or they've carved like scallops into it. And the point of that is to voice the guitar. And what that means is that they're taking off some of the bracing material, which is like the structure of the guitar, the braces. They take off material from that in order to allow more flexibility for the soundboard. And so like really, really high-end guitars are typically handled by a person, like one person who goes through and voices it by hand and takes off material exactly where it needs to be taken off so that they can open up the soundboard and have it like have its full sonic potential be released by taking off material from the braces. I hope that made sense. Yeah, rosewood back and sides. I wouldn't be surprised if these are laminate. It's dreadnought body, so it's going to be louder, it's going to be a little bit deeper, it's going to be like a very loud instrument. Solid spruce top, that's good. Solid spruce. So when you're looking for a guitar, like having a solid top is like one of the most important things when it comes to the tone of the guitar. Next would be probably voicing. As far as I know, again, I'm a beginner, I'm an amateur, I've only been doing this for a year, but solid spruce top is a fantastic choice. All of my guitars so far have been Sitka spruce, and I don't know what type of spruce this one is made out of, but it could be any type of spruce. It's probably Sitka or what's the European one? I forgot. I'm not going to worry about it. Scale length 25.56, so it's a longer scale length. Very good. Nut width 1.68. I think most nut widths for a standard like steel string 6-string guitar goes for 1.75, 1 3/4. And so this one's going to be a little bit smaller. It just says rosewood. Is this not laminate? Would I buy that? Yeah, I would buy this. Yeah, I would. $400. Yeah, the fret ends are very nice. Looks like the fretwork very good. The purfling joint, I'm not seeing any like major imperfections anywhere. Like this is actually looking pretty good. I'm pretty sure that's a sticker on the abalone. There's no way that's real abalone on a $430 guitar. But yeah, if you're an absolute beginner, yeah, this guitar is great. Absolutely. Yeah, I'd buy that. Yeah. Okay. Next guitar. Ooh. Literally the next guitar in line is $700. This is the Taylor 114 CE Grand Auditorium acoustic electric guitar. I'm kind of a sucker for Taylors, gonna be honest. I kind of like Taylors. I like Taylors a lot. I really think Taylor nailed it with the body shape. I really like the shape of it and how like it has a slimmer waist than the Dreadnoughts. This looks like it's a Sapele back and sides. I've worked with Sapele a bit the past year. The one thing I don't like about Taylor's though is that the truss rods seem to be up in the headstock. And what that means is that there's a channel carved out where that neck joint is. Assuming there is a neck joint on this. And it looks like there is. You can see how the grain... Oh, maybe there isn't. No, there is. Yeah, it looks like it's a scarf joint. So that joint, if you have a truss rod going through the top, like the axis of it going through the headstock, that means that you've carved out a little bit of that channel. So this makes that joint just a little bit weaker, which I'm not too big of a fan of. I know Gibson does that a lot. Oh, it's made in Baja, California. Oh, I've been to Baja, California. It's very nice. Oh, and it comes with a case too. $700. Definitely a spruce top. Very, like a solid spruce top. That's very good. Sides are Sapele. I'm pretty confident those are Sapele. Let's see. Where is it? Yeah, Sapele back and sides. Woo, right there. Torrefied top. Okay, so torrefied, as far as I understand it, means that they've aged the wood, and they do that by like roasting them in an oven, kind of. It dries them out more, and it settles the fibers, as far as I know, and it artificially ages them. But well, I mean, it's not like artificial. It speeds up the aging process by a lot, and so you can get a more settled guitar. It's not going to change as much with age, and it's going to be a bit warmer and a bit more open, a bit more expressive maybe. That's what I've heard from torrefied tops. So the expression system, that's the pickups. I don't really know much about pickups. I haven't really done anything with a acoustic electric on my end, on my luthiery end. But piezoelectric. So if you have a piezo pickup in an electric or in an acoustic guitar, it's going to sound like a piezo pickup. There's no microphone in it, I don't think. They're just piezoelectric sensors, and so there's no microphone, so you're not actually going to get the sound of the guitar. You're going to get the sound of the pickup. So I'm not entirely sure how great that's going to be. It's probably going to be decent. Layers Sapele. So these are laminate sides. It's probably a laminate back too. And looking at the photos, I don't see any back bracing on it. Yeah, so if you look inside the sound hole, there's no like center strip, and there's no like transverse brace right there, and so there might not be any bracing on the inside. And the way that they can get away with that is because they have laminate back, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. People hear laminate and they think of plywood, and they think that it's cheaper, and like it is cheaper because you could theoretically use a cheaper wood and then put just like a Sapele veneer over it, which is a lot cheaper than getting solid Sapele. But if you're using like Sapele on Sapele and you have like it epoxied together, then it just might make the sides stiffer. And with stiffer sides, it allows the soundboard to vibrate more without that vibration being dampened by the sides and back of the guitar, if that makes sense. And so it allows for more sustain. Maple neck. Yep, maple neck, very good. Maple is an excellent choice. Tusk nut and micarta saddle. So ensure a buzz-free, well-tuned performance. Okay, the nut and saddle, don't be entirely misled here. The nut and saddle are incredibly important for buzzing and like playability of the guitar, of course, because those are the two that are going to affect your action. That and the truss rod, I guess, sometimes, but that's more for like neck relief. This is not buzz-free because it has a tusk nut and a micarta saddle. It is buzz-free because it hopefully is set up well, where like the frets are level and dressed very neatly, and that there is no like hump at the 14th fret, or like where the body connects to the neck. It's common for a bump to happen there. You could have that nut and saddle made out of just normal cattle bone. Some people have it made out of aluminum or brass. The material isn't what makes it not buzz. It's the action, it's the setup on the guitar that makes it not buzz, which is fine. But like a tusk nut, that's fine. I've heard comparisons between tusk and bone, and I really have not, like, there's not much of a difference, I don't think. I think mostly it's just like if you have like cattle bone, or some people even get bison bone, it's a natural material, and so people tend to like that more. I tend to like it more too, just because it's convenient for me, because I can buy a whole pack of dog bones, like cattle bones for my dog. He can clean them off, and then I can clean them and use them for my nuts and saddles. And yeah, anyways, Layers Sapele spruce. So that's effectively the same type of guitars I've been making. They're just doing a lot better than me. Radius, 15-inch radius. Yeah, I would buy this. I would absolutely buy this. Pickguard. I'm not a big fan of pickguards. Also, why is the pickguard scratched in the photo? Why would they not clean that up before they took a photo for the entire world to see? I'm not one to talk, but still, I would imagine that Anyways, yes, I would buy this guitar. $700, absolutely. Already did a Taylor. All of these are fucking Taylor. Oh, Martin. Yeah, I mean D28. That's classic. That's so traditional of Martin. Yeah, you want a D28, you're not gonna go wrong with a D28. Ooh, I looked at this one before. I forgot about this one. I like this guitar. I've seen it a couple times. This is the Cordoba C7 nylon string acoustic guitar, and it has a cedar top. I've yet to work with cedar, but I really want to because I really like the look of it. I mean, look at that. It's so warm. It looks rustic. That rosette is intricate as hell. And it looks like, you see how there's like squares in it? So that tells me that I don't think this is a sticker. I do think this is a full wood rosette. I guess they could print the sticker to look like wood, but I think that is inlaid. I could be wrong. Very shiny bridge. I'm not used to seeing the bridges finished. Good binding on the tie block with purfling and binding. That's very good. Clean saddle. My dog just threw up a little bit. Not actually, he just coughed. Great purfling, very tiny purfling strips, very good, and binding, which is great. It looks like it's a rosewood fretboard, classic. One thing here on the headstock though. So these little openings right here, that one's off a little bit, isn't it? That one might be off a little bit on that. It's hard to tell. The camera might just be on a little bit. That one looks off, does it not? Anyways, so those grooves are like access points for the strings to go into, and personally, I would like them to be a little bit more pronounced just because I think it looks nicer, but that's such a nitpicky thing. I don't think these strings are hitting the headstock, so it doesn't matter anyways, but that's just aesthetic. Oh, that's a nice touch. I like that with the black and white on here, and then the white pinstripes there for that purfling and binding. Very good. It has a volute, which is this. It's like a bulge on the back of the... Oh, does it actually? It looks like a volute. I think it does. It's a little bulge on the back of the neck that adds a little bit of strength into the scarf joint, which is good. Especially because if this is a classical guitar, it probably doesn't have a truss rod in it. Oh, it does have a truss rod in it. Okay, cool. You can see it right here. Very clean on the inside. Of course it is because they're taking photos. The backs of guitars are very clean almost always. This probably has fan bracings because it's a classical guitar. So it has a cedar top. It looks like it has Indian rosewood back and sides. Classic. Very good. Very traditional. Canadian red cedar top. And it's solid, so it's already going to sound better than a laminate. Fan bracing, of course. I'm actually working on a guitar right now that is a classical style guitar, and it's my first time ever doing it. If you want to see me build that guitar or finish building it, then subscribe to my YouTube channel, this channel, and then go look for the playlist. It's been a lot of fun, and I've made a lot of mistakes. So if you want to be entertained, go check that out. Let's see. Rosette inlay. Okay, cool. So the rosette is inlaid. It's not a sticker, unless they're lying. They could be lying, but let's just assume they aren't. Finished with gloss polyurethane. I've heard polyurethane is just like a bit, as opposed to lacquer, right? Because I use lacquer. I use nitrocellulose lacquer on my guitars, and I've tried polyurethane in the past, and I think that the difference is that polyurethane tends to be a lot more durable, or maybe not a lot more durable, but it tends to be more durable because it's harder. So it doesn't move as much. So I think the polyurethane might actually be a little worse than just lacquer or shellac, but I'm not entirely sure on that. You should not quote me on that. And in fact, you should fact check me and tell my ass in the comments about how wrong I am. That'd be very helpful. Anyways, neckwood, mahogany neck, rosewood binding. Okay, matches the side. It's a very cohesive look. Fingerboard, rosewood. Yep, number frets 19. Cool. 25.5 scale length. I like that. I really like the 25.5 scale length. Nut and saddle are made of bone. Excellent. 2-inch nut width. That's very traditional for traditional guitar, or for classical guitars. How much was this guitar? This guitar was $600. $600 for a classical guitar. And this classical guitar probably sounds quite decent. It looks very good. The purfling on the back and the back strap. I guess it's not the back strap, but like the binding across the back of the guitar looks great. The hill cap looks great. Personal preference is that I'd rather a more rectangular hill as opposed to something so pointy, but that's just aesthetics. There's nothing wrong with it. I wonder what type of neck joint they used. It's either going to be a Morrison tenon or a dovetail. But the question is, would I buy this guitar? Yeah, absolutely I'd buy this guitar. Hell yeah. Next guitar. Let's try to find like a little bit more expensive because we've kind of been on low end lately. Oh, this one. The arm bevel is nice. Like an $800 guitar with an arm bevel is kind of unheard of. And I've played this guitar before. I was in Dublin, Ireland a while ago, and I played it. It's a great sounding guitar. Not this one. This is the classical model, but yeah, okay. See this on the headstock, how those reliefs are a little bit more pronounced? I like that. I think that looks nice. This also has a truss rod in it, which is a bit strange for a classical guitar, but that's better. It's more stable, which is good, and you can adjust it. My only issue with the Academy 12 series, they have a couple different models of it, but my only issue with it is that it doesn't have any binding, and this bevel isn't entirely finished. You know, you can see the end grain of the soundboard and the wall or the side of the guitar, and I don't like that. I think that it should just be finished. It's not hard to put a veneer on it, and I don't know why these don't have bindings, but maybe that's a trade-off for having an arm bevel. The arm bevel is nice. It's just enough. I think that it adds a lot of comfort, and it doesn't take away too much of the soundboard material by cutting into it to make room for the arm bevel, so it doesn't really affect the tone too much, I don't think. I would recommend this guitar. I have played one, not this one. I've played one of their steel string ones, not a nylon one, and it was very good. I would recommend it. I just, without the binding, it kind of kills it for me a little bit. I feel like binding is like a basic choice for a guitar. It adds so much protection, and it's good. It's very good to have binding in it. I've heard from some luthier that like binding, once you get it on, it kind of makes the guitar like airtight, and it like finishes like sealing it. Not only finishes it aesthetically, but also like it makes it one solid piece by adding the binding, and it just adds to the sound because it's just more well built, more well put together, and more just solid, I guess. I don't know. Let's find another one. All these are tailored. There's a but it's freaking expensive. Whoa, that's a beautiful looking guitar on the finish. I want like around $1,000. Give me around $1,000. That's not a gimmicky thing. Freaking tail. Okay, Martin. Okay, Martin. Great. We haven't looked at a Martin yet. I don't know what material that rosette is. It looks like it might just be a plastic. It does not have binding on the fretboard, so you see the tangs of the frets. I'm not a big fan of that either. I feel like if you're going to bind the body, why not bind the fretboard to match? Especially since you're already taking the time to bind it, you might as well just bind the fretboard. It looks very good though. It has a solid Sitka, or I'm assuming Sitka spruce. Could be Engelmann spruce. What wood is this? I'm going to guess that is a sapele. Is that a microphone? Is that a microphone for the pickup system? Ooh. That's a cool guitar. I used to hate it, but then I saw a review of it, and it's kind of a cool guitar. Anyways, Sitka spruce. Okay, I was right on that. Let's go. Yeah, sapele. Okay, sapele used for the back and sides. Tonally similar to mahogany, but its higher density tends to produce slightly brighter sounds with more high-end shimmer. Oh, really? I thought it was the opposite. I thought the higher dense wood made a warmer sound because there was more material, so it'd be a lower frequency. Am I wrong about that? I thought sapele was darker than mahogany. This is saying its higher density tends to produce slightly brighter sounds. I guess that might make sense because the higher density means that the sound will have a harder time getting absorbed into it, so you hear less of it, so it might bounce back more, it might reflect more, which causes more No, that doesn't make sense. The overtones would be caused if it vibrates. If it's not vibrating because it's more dense, there's less overtones, so it'd make it warmer. Okay, yell in the comments. Is mahogany or sapele more warm? Which wood is more warm? Mahogany or sapele? I thought sapele was warmer, but that tells me otherwise, so I don't know. Crisp dynamic Sitka spruce meets a bed of warm mahogany like sapele. That's a good way to make a cheaper wood sound good. Honestly, sapele is kind of slept on. Sapele is fine for a guitar. They're like, oh, but it's not mahogany. Who cares? It's just its own thing. It's its own different sound. It's good. It's a good wood for guitars. Sapele back and sides. They aren't saying anything about it being laminate, so they might be solid, which I would expect for a $1,000 guitar. I would hope it's not laminated, at least not laminated with cheaper wood. If it was laminated with two like really good tone woods, then I think that's actually better. But scalloped X bracing, very good. So Martin made the X bracing, I believe, a little bit of history, and the X bracing allows for one, it allows strength for steel strings. And so they kind of like were able to transition to having a heavier gauge string, which allows for more volume, more energy, to be put into the soundboard from a heavier gauge string, and it's a lot louder of a guitar, right? The X bracing is the most important part of the bracing that allows that strength to be there. But sonically, it's not quite as sonically good as like fan bracing, or like it's not as balanced as fan bracing is, but fan bracing isn't strong enough for steel string guitars. So, you take some, you get some. X bracing is tried and true. You're not going to go wrong with X bracing, especially if it's scalloped. So yeah, anytime you see scalloped X bracing, that's good. Neck shape performing artist. I don't know what their performing artist neck shape is, and I'm honestly not too particular about neck shape. I do all my necks by hand so that they just feel nice. But it probably feels just fine. It probably feels like a Martin, honestly. 16-inch radius, that's the same as mine. Love it. Whatever. Nut width, 1.75. Yep, very standard. Yeah, I'd absolutely buy this. Hell yeah. Again with the picker. Oh yeah, the pickup. That looks like a microphone in there, does it not? Kind of looks like a mirror. But if that's a microphone, that means that when you plug this bad boy in, you're getting the sound of the guitar, not the pickups. Yes, I absolutely would buy this. Again, I'd rather not having a pickguard, but this is a performance series. Or what did it say? It was a road series. Okay, so this guitar is made to perform, and you would want durability for that. So yeah, having pickguard makes sense because it offers a little bit of durability for the soundboard, which is great. And you're probably going to use a pick if you're on the road playing a lot of music. Sapele neck as well. I don't think that's a mahogany neck. I'm pretty sure that's a sapele. Look how dark it is, and the grain, it's not quite as like feathered, I guess, as mahogany. Mahogany grain looks just a little bit different. They look very similar though. That could be mahogany. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before looking at guitars. $1,000, $1,100. Sorry. Yeah, I'd absolutely buy that. Hell yeah. All right, let's get one more guitar on here. Washburn. What do you got there, Washburn? What do you got there? Washburn Beatono. I'm assuming that is like Italian. Supreme SC40 SCE. An inlaid fingerboard on a $600 guitar? What? With a side port? Binded side port? Maple binding? Look at that bridge. Elegant bridge. I like that. Ooh. Is that and it's a wood rosette. It could be an ebony. It could be plastic too, but it looks like it could be like an ebony or a rosewood or something with some purfling around it. Very good. What sides are these? Koa? No. Mahogany neck? Yeah, mahogany neck. Beautiful finish. There's depth to it. Oh my god. This is insane. For $600? Arm bevel? And an inlaid fingerboard. How are they doing that for $600? Beatono. Walnut. That's walnut? Wow. Encasing both the back and side. So it might be a laminate. Complex walnut and flame maple construction. Yeah, maple binding is incredible. Quarter sawn spruce bracing. It's good that they said that. So quarter sawn bracing. This is a piece of bracing. This is spruce, quarter sawn spruce bracing. There's grain. Right now the grain is running this way, horizontally. That's weak in this direction. This is a thick piece of wood, so I can't bend it, obviously. But that's weak in this direction. So you want it to be stood up to where the grain is going vertically. And so when you have grain that is vertical and goes all the way through the wood without just disappearing, I believe that's called runout. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's very, very, very strong this way. So when you put bracing on the guitar, you want to be mindful that it is quarter sawn or rift sawn and is vertical. And so the fact that they say quarter sawn spruce bracing, that's a big green flag. Absolutely look for that. That is fantastic. Washburn. That is a beautiful guitar. My God. How's it so cheap? Barkus Berry LX4 preamp system and a proprietary side sound port equipped with bass, middle, treble, presence, and volume controls. Wow. Okome. Is that a Japanese wood? Okome. West Africa. Oh, okay. Way wrong. Republic of the Congo. Large hardwood tree. Okay, cool. I'm not familiar with this wood as a neck at all, but if it's dense, it's hardwood and quarter sawn, then yeah, it's going to be great. Not mahogany. I kind of thought it was mahogany, but I'm wrong. It's okume. I hope I'm saying that right. 12-inch radius. on the fingerboard, so it's going to be a little bit more for good balance. 12-inch radius is a good balance between being able to play like bar chords comfortably and picking quickly. So 12-inch radius, great, fantastic. How is this only $600? And it's 25.5. I thought it was a smaller guitar. It's not. That is longer than my guitars. This is insane. This one takes the top of the list so far. And it has a volute. Very good. See that? The volute up there. Yes. Hell yeah. Guys, this guitar is... I would recommend this in a heartbeat. Does it have... Okay, since it's done so many things right so far, does it have slotted... It looks like it. I see little slots there. And it has a slotted bridge. What is the rosette material made out of? It's got purfling. Okay, difference between purfling and binding. Binding is like the outer line. So on this guitar it is this flame maple, which first of all is insane. Wooden binding on a $600 guitar is insane. But like the arm bevels, see what I'm talking about? The arm bevel having that veneer over it, it just makes it look so much better. It really does. Taylor, what are you doing, man? This guitar is cheaper and it has maple arm bevel side port, so that it takes away a little bit of the sound going forward, so it's not going to be as loud that way, but you're going to hear it a lot better for yourself, which is great if you're a singer-songwriter and you have to hear your own playing. Fantastic. But binding is this outer layer of maple. It could be made from any type of wood or plastic or whatever, and then the purfling is that little tiny strip right in there. That is purfling. Binded fretboard too, so you see that. You can't see the tangs of the frets. I like that. It really makes it look just finished and good, and an inlaid fucking fretboard. I'm blown away. I could never make a guitar for $630 that has all of this. I could never. One person could never do that. If this was made by a person and like hand voiced and everything, and maybe not laminate. I don't know if they said laminate, but beautiful. It's beautiful. It would be a couple $1,000s. It would have to be to make up for the labor cost and whatnot. That is insane. Yes, absolutely. Buy this guitar. I don't see anything wrong with it. Maybe like it's not voiced super well. Maybe it's like, maybe it just isn't that responsive of an instrument. I don't know. But there's got to be something wrong with this guitar. How is this so freaking cheap? Like, I've not even been building guitars for that long, and I already know just how insane it is. Maybe they're lacking on the tuners. Like, those don't look like super high-end tuners, but it's $600 guitar. I wouldn't expect high-end tuners anyways. Yeah, so they're just like generic tuners. But that's not like the end of the world. Like, I don't think you really have tuning instability from it as long as the setup on it is really good and the strings are wound properly. Like, and plus you can always upgrade tuners to better ones for not an insane amount of money. Like, you can spend $60 on a set of tuners and they're going to be great. You can even spend $60 on a set of tuners and get locking tuners. Then you'll have zero instability issues unless your nut is not filed properly or your bridge is falling apart or something. But like, then you just take it to your local luthier and you have them fix it, and then you're good. That is insane. Okay, I'm done. Video's over. My God, I gotta up my game. That's what I'm competing against? My fucking God, dude. Damn. That's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, I am an amateur luthier, and if you want to see me build guitars, check out the rest of my channel. I'm uploading weekly, every Friday, as best I can. And right now we are building a classical style guitar. And if you want to follow along to see that build finished and complete, and maybe even a chance to win it at the end of it, then subscribe, follow for more, and take everything I said here with a grain of salt, because again, I am a beginner. So take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.